UTRGV-TV is brought to you in part by the Student Government Association. Represent UTRGV at the UT system level. The deadline to apply is 11:59 p.m. November 17th. For more information, email sga@utrgv.edu.
Thank you for joining me at this week's UTRGV-TV edition. I'm Jorge Hinojosa, and UTRGV-TV starts now. On this week's top story, the humanitarian Respite Center at Sacred Heart Catholic Church in downtown McAllen no longer houses immigrants. However, nearby space is also utilized to help those in need. Our reporter Kenya Gomez has a story.
In June 2014, Sister Norma Pimentel began helping immigrants in need of shelter, and over the years, it has grown tremendously. Refugees fill in Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley Respite Center door, and volunteers clap to greet the tired travelers.
And most of them, if not all of them, were totally dirty, muddy, and they needed help. They needed immediate help, and they were needing clean up. They needed to eat. They needed to see a doctor in some cases.
Located in McAllen, Texas, the first stop for refugees from Central American countries. The location is more than a place to rest and eat after a long journey. Here, refugees are able to find the help they've been looking for in the country they all hope to call home.
Get an orientation as to how things are going to be for them now, legally guide them a little bit as to what they need to do and how to proceed. And
the lack of opportunities and violence leads entire families to seek refuge in the U.S. Ada, a single mother from Honduras, arrived at the Respite Center with hopes of a better future.
I had problems with my husband. He would hit me and the children. He was involved in bad things, so we decided to leave.
Sister Norma believes helping people is the calling requiring an answer.
Helping people like immigrants, what we do at the Refugee Center, the Respite Center, it's a response, a human response to human reality. It's what we as human beings must do, care for life.
She has noticed the Trump administration is increasing immigration enforcement, and she works to ensure undocumented immigrants understand their rights.
People would be released. And so this new administration has put a lot more emphasis on that. It's the same, but more emphasis to make sure that people are processed, kept in detention, and deported, which is what already was happening, but now with greater emphasis.
Ada's next stop is North Carolina, where her aunt resides. There, she will wait for her court date, where her future will be decided. As Ada's journey to North Carolina begins, hundreds of other immigrants arrive at the center, each immigrant seeking help from Sister Norma and volunteers for rest, food, and shelter. Although they are currently raising funds to build a new facility, in the future they hope to have enough space for volunteers to stay the night. Reporting for UTRGV-TV, I am Kenya Gomez.
In order to raise awareness about fire prevention, the City of Edinburgh Fire Stoppers held their festival at the HEV Park. Our reporter Aisha Palma has more.
The Edinburgh Fire Department held their 2017 Fire Stoppers Festival, in which not only did they raise awareness on fire prevention, but had many other activities going on as well. The festival included live music, food, carnival rides, special performances such as martial arts, Aztec Folklorico, and much more.
Our Fire Stoppers Festival, it started way back over 20 years ago. We let the public come in and see, our equipment, what we use to go and put fires out, and just give them a chance to interact with firefighters, or if they have any questions as far as, what they should do in an emergency or where to go, what to look for.
The annual festival allowed the community to gather and not only have a good time, but the main purpose was to educate the public on how to be prepared when there is a fire, have a plan at home, and to have an insight of what to expect when there is an emergency.
I'm here at the festival enjoying it with my family, and it's a wonderful festival. They had some nice performances earlier. They have a bunch of rides for the kids, for the whole family. I recommend everybody to come out. And if you can't make it to this one, maybe the next one.
The National Fire Protection Association has announced that the message for this year is "Every second counts. Plan 2 ways out." So remember that anytime you hear a smoke alarm, every second counts. In Edinburgh, for UTRGV-TV, Aisha Palma.
A student who was hit by a bicyclist now says that there should be more bicycle regulations on campus. Our reporter Juliana Quiroz joins us in the studio. Juliana?
That's right, Jorge. This student is now recovering from minor injuries, but says that this accident made her realize the importance of safe bicycle riding on campus.
An encounter with a bicyclist throughout the day is something quite common for the students of UTRGV, but some of these encounters can result in unfortunate accidents.
I was hit on my left side of my stomach.
Mass communications major Amanda Castillo was hit by a bicyclist as she was walking onto the Bronx Trail next to the Student Union on the Edinburgh campus about 2 weeks ago.
I was pretty much in shock and I just felt like pain. I did walk away right after because I was in a rush to get to class. But as soon as I walked off, I just felt like a really sharp pain, and I went to Student Health Services afterwards.
She says she has been suffering from bruising and migraines ever since the accident, and now feels there should be more regulations for the use of bicycles on campus by law enforcement.
Maybe whenever security is out there, maybe issue citations or something, or just give them warnings just so that nobody gets hurt. And I guess just kind of have presentations throughout campus and just really talk about the issue and that it is an issue and point out that accidents like these can happen.
Patrol Lieutenant Vance Lusser says that the campus police department does have proactive community education presentations that highlight pedestrian bicyclist safety. But in order to further prevent accidents like this, he says students need to be alert.
One of the first and major things is really just to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Try to minimize distractions, so stay off the cell phone, try not to have loud music going through your earbuds. Always be aware of what's going on around you.
Castillo hopes that allowing people to know her story serves to raise awareness of the importance of riding safely on campus.
Now, there are specific regulations that bicyclists must follow while riding on campus, and any unsafe riding may result in a referral to the Dean of Students. More information is posted on the UTRGV website for parking and transportation services, and we will post that link on our Facebook page. Here in the studio for UTRGV-TV, I'm Juliana Quiroz. Back to you, Jorge.
The Harlingen Art and Heritage Museum and the RGV Museum Association held a Dia de los Muertos exhibit. Our reporter Dulce Cortinas has more.
The Harlingen Arts and Heritage Museum held its annual Dia de los Muertos exhibit. It featured traditional music played by the Grupo Americantos and traditional dance music performed by the Matachines dancers. Inside and out, the museum was filled with people walking around as calaveras or skeletons. The traditional Mexican celebration included a very colorful and moving array of altars in memory of family, friends, and even pets. Altars were designed by people from the community. Between an exhibit, food, refreshments, people enjoyed traditional music and dance to honor their beloved ones.
Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead celebration, started here in Harlingen in 2004. 2004-2005, we had an event at the Harlingen City Cemetery when we had the Harlingen Historical Preservation Society. And when the society folded, the museum took over the event, and it's been growing every year.
An attendee attended the event for the first time with her daughter. She enjoyed that the event shared history and culture of the Hispanic heritage and gave tribute to the historical figure Cesar Chavez.
It really shows our heritage. As a Hispanic, it shows what as a Mexican family would do to be grateful to the who have passed away, who have died.
Local artists from the community held an exhibit at the event. Attendees were able to take a glance of the artwork.
The exhibit is phenomenal. This is my first time here. I've been in the Valley for about 6 years, but I haven't been here, and I wish I would have been here more often, so it's absolutely phenomenal.
The traditional Mexican celebration, Day of the Dead, also known as Dia de los Muertos, commemorates those who have passed away. All tours were decorated with pictures, candles, and objects that were favorites of that person. For UTRGV-TV, I am Dulce Cortinas.
Face painting calaveras and remembering family members who all passed were all featured in the Museum of South Texas History Dia de los Muertos celebration. I went to the museum to bring you this report. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Jorge Hinojosa and I'm here at the Museum of South Texas History, in which they're celebrating Dia de los Muertos, but with beer. Let's go ahead and check out how they celebrate calaveras and cervezas. Adults 21 years and older got to celebrate Dia de los Muertos with beer, wine, and tacos. They also got the chance to get their face painted like a calavera while they listened to classy music. Even though fun activities were offered, the museum wants to emphasize the importance of education at the event.
So the Museum of South Texas History, we've been doing Dia de los Muertos for 14 years, and with this happy hour, it's more than just coming in and drinking and listening to great music and food. It's also, we have an educational aspect. So we'll have a scavenger hunt, we'll have some hands-on activities. There's always something to do.
Drinking their favorite beer or wine and getting their faces painted is how citizens got to enjoy their Dia de los Muertos here at the Museum of South Texas History. Reporting for UTRGV-TV, I'm Jorge Hinojosa. UTRGV's Department of Philosophy, along with South Texas College, hosted the Thinking La Frontera conference, featuring local artists and international activists. Our reporter Margarita Muñiz has more on the story.
When the Border Patrol picks them up, them either here or at the other location.
With just a few feet away from the border wall with Mexico, UTRGV's Department of Philosophy, along with South Texas College, co-hosted their Thinking La Frontera conference this weekend. As part of this event, a presentation was held at the Old Hidalgo Pump House Museum, emphasizing the ethics of immigration in the Rio Grande Valley.
We were trying to bring issues that are very local to us to let the rest of the country know what's going on. So we had a lot of people come from all different other states and from Mexico to learn about the issues that are right in our backyard that even some of our students don't know about.
This presentation featured 3 local community organizations, all discussing the importance and value of immigration in our region.
It's we're so busy in our global community today worrying about all these other places, but we're not really thinking about what's going on in our backyard. So it was for that purpose too, for outside people to know what was going on, and then for our members of our own community to know what was going on.
With tamales, aguas frescas, and a new perspective of La Frontera, event attendees felt inspired by the message delivered that afternoon. In Hidalgo, for UTRGV-TV, I am Margarita Muñiz.
Edinburgh's elections are underway, and UTRGV is providing students the opportunity to cast their vote. Our reporter Marta Ibarra has a web report.
Hey Vaqueros, I'm at the Student Union in Edinburgh, where UTRGV is giving you the opportunity to cast your vote. In an effort to increase political and civic participation, UTRGV has organized Vaqueros Vote. With elections currently going on in the city of Edinburgh, the university is giving students easy access to the polls.
It's actually a really good decision, especially since a lot of people, especially incoming freshmen they're able to vote, they don't really know where to go.
Aside from voting, the initiative aims to educate the UTRGV community about the value of participation in democracy through the electoral process.
What I believe is kind of the importance of voting is just kind of voicing yourselves and being able to make a change for the better.
In Edinburgh, for UTRGV-TV, Martha Ibarra.
And here's Daniel Galvan with sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a top secret UTRGV Sportscast. I'm Daniel Galvan.
I'm Nathaniel Puente.
Cool. All right, guys, we're going to talk about UTRGV, but first let's talk about some other sports. Hey, Nate, Jimmy Johnson sure had a downer in Texas, huh?
Yeah.
That was NASCAR. Okay, let's talk about UTRGV. UTRGV volleyball, pretty good, right?
They're awesome.
They are awesome. In fact, this past week, Nate, they played on Thursday. They played on Saturday here in Edinburgh. You know what they did?
They won both times.
When's the last time you won twice in a week?
Never.
Okay, great. That's incredibly sad. UTRGV on Thursday, Nate. It was amazing. They were playing Seattle U, and at first things were down because, look, UTRGV came into the game. They were undefeated at home. They lost the first 2 sets, and guess what happened next?
They came back.
Yeah, I guess I kind of spoiled it earlier saying they won the games, but they did win the next 3 sets. Here are some stats for you in that game. Dubravka Vakoya had 55 assists. She helped out a lot. When's the last time you helped somebody?
Last week.
What'd you do?
I made a sandwich for you.
What was in the sandwich?
Poison.
So were you helping out me or the rest of society by killing me off?
Probably you, because you don't like your life.
This got hashtag deep. All right. Also, following up on Saturday, Utah Valley. Guess what happened there, Nate?
They beat them naturally.
They won 3-0. It was senior day. Bojana Mitrovic and Tina Sekulic, the two Serbian seniors. Next week, I'm going to talk more about them in that game. But UTRGV won. They are undefeated in the regular season at home, 10-0. But guess what? Guess what, Nate?
They're not done at home.
Yes, in the postseason, UTRGV will host the WAC tournament in 2 weeks. Check it out. By the way, this week on Friday, you know what's happening?
No, I don't.
Well, UTRGV basketball.
Oh, is the season starting?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. UTRGV soccer, that's a sport.
It sure is.
They play with the soccer ball, and women's soccer had a great season, but they did lose in the WAC tournament to Grand Canyon. It was a fantastic overtime game. Grand Canyon is a great team. Sarah Bonnie scored, so that's a wrap for women's soccer. I'll talk more about some of the seniors leaving that team next week, but a great season out of women's soccer. And men's soccer, here's something crazy. So there's 11 teams in the conference, just great teams. Air Force, other teams like that are in that conference. UNLV, you know where UNLV is, right?
Las Vegas.
That's right, Nate. You look at you, man. Genius. Anyways, so all those teams, that only 7 out of the 11 qualified for the tournament. UTRGV was behind the 8 ball, but they won the last 2 games of the regular season on the road across Texas against Houston Baptist and Incarnate Word, and winning those 2 games put them in the tournament. Right?
Yeah, and it starts tomorrow.
That's right. You should watch it. Who are they going to play without looking?
Grand Canyon and Air Force.
They're going to play San Jose State.
My bad.
If they beat San Jose State, they'll play the Air Force. Have you ever played the Air Force?
Yeah, but I lost.
Speaking of lost, the Dodgers.
I still feel for you, Darvish.
And to all the Houston Astros fans out there, you're not an actual Astros fan. You're just on the bandwagon. By the way, RIP to Deshaun Watson's ACL. There is nothing more painful in life than being a Houston Texans fan.
Okay. First you lost J.J. Watt, and now Deshaun Watson. How does it feel?
Well, the worst part is I'm hanging out with you. Reporting for UTRGV-TV, I'm Daniel Gavon. Thank you to Ryan, my cameraman.
And that's what we have for you today. But remember, if you know someone in the UTRGV family who is making a change in the campus or community, or you have a story that you would like for us to know about, contact us through our social media or send us an email at utrgvtv@gmail.com. We have UTRGV and community news for you every week. See you next time.